Actually, I have just a 3 months old kid.
Okay.
So, but a regular day outside music for me is just trying to spend some time with my family and give them the best of me.
Right.
That's a regular day for me outside music.
Okay. All right. So, where did your love and passion for music come from, and how did that influence your style as a musician?
Well, I was so lucky to grow up in a music family.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a singer of a very popular band in the east of Cuba.
Okay.
And I grew up going to rehearsal, listening to my dad playing the guitar at home and singing all those songs that still are on my mind.
It's in the blood. It's in the DNA.
And that very much influenced me to follow up and pursue this music career.
Okay, that is great. That is wonderful. You growing up in the music business, which musician did you admire or would love to work with it on the big stage?
Well, you know what? I've been very blessed in my music career. Living in Cuba, there are few, I will say there are 3 Cuban musicians that I grew up listening, and they were my heroes.
Okay.
I was Paquito de Rivera, Arturo Sandoval, and Chucho Valdez.
Okay.
Those are I will say, 3 of the biggest Cuban artists all time.
Okay.
Jazz player. Growing up, I'm from a very small town in Cuba. Growing up there and listening to those guys, for me was like a dream.
Wow.
Thinking, wow, that would be amazing one day, to
big names, giants.
But I have the opportunity. I say 3 of them. I've been so blessed in my life to have the opportunity to work with at least 2 of them. I worked with Paquito Rivera a few times, and we record together. And I have played also with Chucho Valdez. I have done a Canadian tour with him. So that's been amazing, just to be able to accomplish that.
Right. That's great. Now, I heard, I've seen you play a year ago with the Caribbean Jazz Collective with Eddie Bullen, a good buddy of mine, and it was amazing at the top of the Senate.
Jazz Bistro.
Jazz Bistro, thank you. And the energy and that I like, before I got this show, I saw some things in the show, the way you perform, the depth and there's something magical that. But I saw that, I said, when I get my show, I'm going to bring that magic. It just had a luster to it from the Caribbean. The way you guys flow and how you interact with the crowd and the atmosphere that you guys created. I love that. And I thought when I get my show, I was going to bring that to Radioregent. I made it a promise to the fans. I was going to bring large, medium, and small. All dynamics. Music that transcends borders to Radioregent, because what I find something that rubbed me the wrong way, because some of the networks, if you were not huge on the charts or big worldwide, they didn't want nothing to do with you, and I find that's wrong. In my world of music, I grew up in the music business itself. I think everybody should have a voice to say something. At least if they don't get that voice, the music should at least get played out there. And my job, I put it on my back. This is what I was going to do. And I told Eddie, I said, listen, give me some names. I don't know a lot of these guys, but I know their music. I'll get them on there and feature them. And he delivered, and I'm continuing to deliver. Now, I'm wondering, with all the music and the family and everything, do you ever get a time with your instrument alone? And what's that like? Just alone?
Well, there's no better time for me. This is one thing. This is a great question. One thing is performing.
Yes.
When we are performing with a band, we do have, even though it's a fun thing to do, but we do have a responsibility or to deliver to this audience that are listening. So even though it's a very fun thing, we do have some kind of pressure when we're performing live.
Right.
But the best time for me is when I have the opportunity to sit down in a place, either in a studio or at home, just play my instrument with no limit, with no boundaries, just simply playing my instrument.
Different vibe.
I'm feeling myself.
Right.
You know, I say that, you know, my best connection beside obviously beside my wife, right. is the instrument. The instrument is so personal,
right.
so personal. The relationship.
You're in your element.
Yes, it's like what happened in that moment when I'm alone with a drum,
right.
playing.
Right.
It's so interesting. That's a
right.
beautiful time for me when I'm there alone with my instrument performing at home, no stage,
right.
no audience, just
playing.
You know, having a little bit, you know, connection.
Great, wonderful. We're going to talk about these 3 bands you play in. We're going to talk about where do you get the time to play with all these 3 bands? The Caribbean Jazz Collective, Cruzao, and Seven Souled. We played some tracks early on. They're a wonderful young group. They have a nice sound. The Cruzao I heard. We also have the Caribbean Jazz Collective with Eddie Bullen and the bass players and the pan men. And these guys are just an amazing mosaic from different islands. Tell me a little bit about that and work with them.
Well, you know what is funny. Well, we're forgetting also Calabash, which is I'm very dedicated to that project. I produce music for them, and well, you know what? Music is something that you have to be able to play in different journeys.
Right.
To be able to any time that you play with a different band, it's entirely different sound and flavor and so as a musician you have to allow yourself to be able to experience that, to play with different musical projects. Funny enough, they are very different one to the other.
I could tell right away. I knew right away that boom, it has a distinctive style in each band. And I want to talk about that Seven Soul band. How did you grow from four members to 14? How's that happen?
Well, Seven Soul is and this is the point where we bring my hermano Mar Daniel that is here in the studio with us. Seven Soul is, and I want to see audience up there, listen up this thing that I'm gonna tell you. Okay, Seven Soul. All the other musical projects that I work, they are fantastic, and I love them. Eddie is my brother. I love him to death.
We love him down here too.
Yeah.
We got to get him back.
I'm working with him shortly, you know. But Seven Soul is something very personal. Seven Soul is a musical project that is a little bit beyond just music. It's a musical project who involve elements of, you know, dance.
Right.
You know, there's many different elements. We have a little bit of musical theater also inside there. Okay. And this is a project that we put together, Mark, Daniel, and myself. Okay. A lot of the music that we are performing there is our own composition. It's music that I compose together with the band. Right. And it's, listen up, is gonna be one of the best musical projects, if not the best musical project coming up in Canada in 2016. So we're gonna launch this project July 15 on the Beaches Jazz Festival, Woodbine Park, 9 p.m. So if you are up there and you are listening to this, you better mark this day in your calendar, July 15, 9 p.m. Woodbine Park Beaches Jazz Festival.
Is that on the main stage?
That's the main stage.
Okay, that is great.
And that's beyond music. That is music, lighting, you know, it's a huge
production. Beautiful. Now, let me ask you, where does Cruzado come in? What type of sound do they have?
Well, Brown Man and myself, we know for a long time. It was one of the first guys that I worked here. As a matter of fact, the first time that I played here in Canada in Montreal Jazz Festival was with Nick. Cruzado is a project that is a lot of freedom. As a matter of fact, we are playing tonight.
Tell the audience where you're playing.
Yeah, we're playing tonight Poetries. This is Spadina, around the Chinatown. So you go online and find out, put Poetries Jazz Club, and that will take you there. We're playing there is a trio. It's just bass, trumpet, and drums. And it's a very open kind of, music, and it's fun, it's energized, and you can expect anything from that when you come over. So that's what Cruzado is about.
Cruzado is about, okay.
Yeah.
So 3 different bands, 3 different dynamic, and which makes it unique and keeps you busy. It's a good word.
Yeah, it's
very busy.
Yeah, it's a great thing to be able. I never take for granted the fact that there's a lot of musicians up there that they have a lot of hard time to find work and to be able to perform. And once again, I have the blessing of having a lot of work.
That's great.
And just probably some of the reason is because I keep myself open for any kind of journey. I know inside any style. I love to play and experiment any kind of music, and I'm open up for that.
That is great. That's a gift from God.
That's a gift from God. And very much that we you say a drummer. You are a percussionist. You got to be playing everything that is there.
This is the thing that boggles me, is that you have 3 bands, and you play all these drummer. You're a drummer. Congas and the cajon. Tell us about this cajon thing. The first time I saw it, it's sitting on a box. I go, what is that? But it has a beautiful sound.
That's the secret weapon. The cajon is an amazing drum.
Beautiful.
It's an amazing drum, and it's simply it's based in one thing. You have the drum set. It's one drum kit is a totally different business, and percussion is a totally different business.
Right.
So, but the cajon is in the middle of those 2 instruments. So the cajon will allow you to bring elements of the drum set and perform, and the elements of percussion and perform, and put all this together, and you can play with the cajon and gig.
Yeah.
The whole show.
Yeah.
You can play. You have a kick drum there. If you put a microphone behind this thing there, it's big kit, drum kit, and it's also percussion. So it's one of the most important percussion instruments that we have today, and anytime that I have the opportunity to play that, I just feel like at home.
Let me ask you, where's that instrument from?
Well, this instrument actually is original from Peru.
Peru.
Wow. But it have a very interesting story. Okay. So Peruvian play the cajon traditionally, which is the cajon with we have some kind of guitar string inside the cajon, which will give you some kind of snare sound.
Okay.
But the Peruvian play the cajon straight ahead, just the box. Now, the flamenco music, which is original from Spain,
right?
They took this instrument, from Peru, took this to Spain, and the flamenco music came from that.
Okay.
And which is a flamenco music, for some of you guys who are wondering what flamenco music is I can give you an example of Paco y Lucia music. It's a guitar, dancers, and cajon literally is that. So the Spaniards, they put the string inside and they get that snare sound, that's really the story of this drum. It comes from Peru, but really it's been developed in Spain and in flamenco music. So it's very well known for that.
Because I was watching a show a couple of weeks ago, Black Shades in America, and this guy went into a Latino community playing music. They had the cajon and different instrument. And what blew me away, a guy brings a donkey's jawbone, and this an amazing sound. It's joined together, and he licked it with a bone and then snapped it with his wrist. And it went so beautifully with the cajon. It's amazing how he can play music.
Percussion is such a fun feel when it comes to the music. Percussion is everything.
Yeah.
Percussion is this turbo that we have here. That's percussion. Percussion is anything you can knock, and have fun with. So that's why every sound up there, if you know how to use it and you put that in the right track, it will make an amazing, difference.
All right, tell us where fans could purchase your music.
Well, right now I'm entirely devoted to work in this project, Seven Soul. So Seven Soul is the center of my music universe right now.
All right.
And there I work almost 24/7 with this project. I play with other bands, but this is home. Seven Soul. This is a funny spelling when we say Seven Soul is 7, the number, SOULD.com. So you can go there and you can, listen to this music and purchase this music. Those tunes are in iTunes right now.
Right.
But if you go to that website, you can actually get all the information for the band. That's my latest, composition. And my most proud work right now is into that website. Once again, 7soul, SOULD.com.
Great. Now, tell me, what's your definition of musical success?
Simply. My definition of music success is being able to, through music, number one, feed your family. That's success.
Right.
So you, after musician, don't get so tied up with playing 300 shows, or anything like that. And I'm telling you, I'm being very blessed in my life. I work with in this country. I work with from David Foster to to musical theater, to everything. All comes down to one thing. All comes down to, if in the end of the day, you are able to come home and have a place, be able to you be able to pay to feed your family generally. That's a success. It doesn't really matter how many bands you play with.
Right.
If in the end of the day, you cannot feed your family with what you do, you better find another job. I do another work that is really that I'm very busy on that. That is, I work with the community. I work with kids.
Beautiful. Giving back.
And I work with kids in a very extreme way. I work for the Toronto School Board. I do a program that is bringing all the music and the culture that I grew up with to the kid, the Canadian kid, the community. The number 2 program that I work in a program that is Sistema in the school, that is on the Jen and Finch community and Parkdale community. That program I do it, Monday to Friday. I work also for the jazz performer education program. This is also in the school. So that's really, after all, what matters the most.
Right.
Because those kids that I have the opportunity to work from Monday to Friday are my best fans.
Okay.
And are the kid that I walk into that classroom and they give me a hug and they say, Mr. Nunez,
Wow.
and they give me so much love. That's my best audience.
And that must be very gratifying to you. But thank you for coming in. But we're going to continue. The Cool Breeze saying thank you. We're going to continue with music, and I'm going to let Diva D, who helps me out on the Air Candy show from 3 to 5 on Fridays, she's going to continue the interview. Thank you. Go ahead. You're welcome. Go ahead.
So I got a little bit of Seven Soul when I came in, and I was so excited because it had that, that Caribbean get off and jump up summer music. So I'm glad that you're being showcased at the Beaches Jazz Festival, because that's where I originally saw Eddie Bullen. I worked in a record store, and then he came in afterward, and I was like, oh my God, a jazz star. So it has a personification that really launches people, and people will really get excited about your music, and I'm really glad about that, because Caravana now for us is kind of died out, so we need something like that to lift us off. And I'm really glad that you launched and came down here to Radio Regent so we can lift you off ourselves. So I'm really happy that you're here today.
Well, once again, I'm happy to be here. One other thing about this project that you mentioned, Seven Souls, is this is a family. This is a group where we've been together for over about a year. Once again, this is a project that I put together with Mark Daniel. Mark Daniel, just here in the studio with me today. He called me about a year ago, and he said, Joaquin, we got to do something together. I want to do something musical. As a matter of fact, I was doing a tour in Europe with Zucchero, the Italian singer, and we were in Rome, Italy. And he came all over down there to see us performing. When we finished the show, this is a very high-profile show. Zucchero is one of the most important Italian singers. It was a very high-profile show, and we finished this show, and he came backstage, and we were just sitting, and he said, you know what, we got to do something like this in Toronto. We got to do a project like this in Toronto. So when I come back from this tour, it was about 3 months, I come back here to town, he approached me, and he said, well, you know what, is there any way that we can create something like this magical, with beat the stage, a lot of musicians, and we start building up this project from 6 musicians actually.
Wow.
And then we brought another musician in, and then we incorporated horn section, and well, we are right now around how many?
Well, we're with I think we're 12.
12 musicians. But it's a family there.
But there's reasons for it to be 12. A lot of bands, when they want to reproduce a big sound, they'll use synthesizers. Well, Joaquin is a fan. I'm a fan of real horns.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't want any. I like synthesizers. They're wonderful machines. But we love the organic feel of real horns. So Joaquin, I said, Joaquin, find the horns, and he did. And the band grew, and because it grew, the ability to play a much wider variety of music, to do great sections, to do some great solo work, to create an overall larger sound became possible.
And the music is all over. The music, you can have, you have some Caribbean, feel inside there. You have Brazilian, you have African, you have R&B, you have rock into the repertoire. So when you come to see this band, you will be satisfied, because there's no way that we won't play something that won't touch your music, taste. So that's the amazing thing about this band. And something very important about this project also is, as I was commenting a few minutes ago here in the studio, the band is, one of the singer is Philippine background. The DJ is Indian background. The bass player is a Korean background. The percussion and drum, Cuban. Another percussion is a Jewish background. the piano player from Jamaica, but identify Toronto. Toronto is a multicultural city, and you have here all the flavor. But one very important thing about Toronto is when there is a nice party, going on, you get everybody there. You don't separate people. No. You get all the flavor.
Everybody mixes up together, and it creates, like, I'm born and raised third generation, and I've seen a lot of music go through here, and I like how we generate music. Like we start things, but have to go to the U.S. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Caribbean artists that started here got notified in the States, right? So I'm glad that you're bringing something fresh and funky, and just the spirit of it is very powerful. And I see that there's more jazz clubs opening up, and I hope that there'll be more venues, because there's classical music, and that's down packed. But I want to see something more authentic, ethnic, something.
Well, you're going to see a lot of that in what's going on with our show.
Nice.
Because we took the concept of music, but we decided, let us make music one of the personalities on the stage. And then we went into a fairly lengthy audition process to find a series of dancers who also were ethnically from all over the map. I mean, all over the place. And they all bring certain styles and what they've learned to the stage also. And so we've taken the music, we've taken the dancing, and the dancing is all in choreographed interpretive dancing. So everything, it all tells a story.
Yes.
And everything has been crafted together to tell a story. At the same time, it's a little bit like musical milkshake, where we've taken incredible music and incredible instrumentation. We've taken incredible dancers. We've taken acrobatic dancers, and we've taken one aerialist.
Oh.
We put it all together. We shook it up like a martini or a milkshake, all right, and poured it out, and you get this incredible show.
Nice.
So you get incredible music. You get incredible dance. It all weaves into. There's interplay, because the dancers don't just stay on this. They start wandering around the instruments, and everybody becomes part of a bigger show. And it's all backed up by a gigantic video screen, LED video screen.
Toronto needs this.
Yes.
You know, musically, you know, we gotta feel proud about our thing, something that is from here. You know, I mean, it's okay that we like, you know, North American music, and we like, you know, the music from UK, and we like the music from all around the world. But it's about time that we have something here in town that we feel really proud about, you know, and something that we go up there and we support. I'm not talking about just only, you know, Seven Soul, but I'm talking about generally.
Yes.
As a musician, I mean, local musician, we struggle sometimes, you know, putting a show together, rehearsing, you know, spending a lot of hours, you know, getting a production happening, and we just need you guys to come down and support this. This is for you. We don't do this for us.
And where are you launching again for the Beaches Jazz Festival?
This is Woodbine Park, and will be July 15th, and this show is going to start around, you know, 9 p.m. And it's going to go till around 10:30. And I don't know if some of you guys been in Woodbine Park, but that's very family friendly. It's a big park, and we have food.
And Queen.
This is actually Lakeshore and Carlisle area. This is just in front to the beaches.
Yeah.
But it's Woodbine Park is
Coxwell and Queen.
Coxwell and Queen. Exactly. So I mean, but if you go to Beaches Jazz Festival, you can actually also look into Seven Soul, and you will see that where we are scheduled. But once again, this is something that is for you up there. This is not for us. Yes. We already have done this.
Yes.
We're doing this for you.
The nice part about the show, well, there's two nice parts. One nice part, of course, is the music is free. It's free admission. Come to the park. Enjoy yourself.
Free.
Just come and hang out and enjoy the music, enjoy the show, no cost, and there's parking. plenty of parking.
And food. There's food.
Lots of food.
So you can come and
Lots
hang
of
out
food.
and then that will be
just
the
come down and
feast.
enjoy.
That will be the dessert. Seven soul.
Is also the premiere of a show. So if you're gonna see this, we are 100% confident that this is gonna be one of the best musical projects in Canada for the next couple of years, or for the years to come. So you're gonna have the opportunity to see the premiere of this show live, outdoor. We are videotaping this, and we want audience participation.
So don't be surprised if some of the audience finds themselves on stage. Don't be surprised if some of the musicians find themselves sitting beside you
Okay.
in the audience.
Nice. That would be cool.
That's great.
Actually, they did that once in Afrofest at Queen's Park. The drummers came down, and the people, and it was so hot. I was sweating to death. And the atmosphere that just changed. It just seemed like someone just lifted up the world and just created this one heartbeat with the music, and everybody had the same vibe, and who couldn't dance was
Amazing,
dancing
huh?
anyways. So, that's an
amazing.
amazing feat. And, thank you for coming down and giving us an education on your music and in your groups, but also showing some love to Toronto, because we want to manifest our greatness here in the city, and we don't get an opportunity to do that. So we thank you for coming down to Radio Regent today, Mr. Joaquin and Mr.
Mark
Daniel. Thank you for dropping by Radio Regent. It's been a pleasure, and love your
Very
music.
welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having us here, and thank you, koolbreeze, for bringing, making the approach and having us.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something to end. Keep doing this thing that you're doing. This that you're doing here is amazing. We walk inside this studio. This is very private here. This is very intimate here. But in few minutes that we've been sitting here and been listening to the music that you are playing here, this is Class A music. This is.
Thank you.
You make my morning with this music that I've been listening here. And we need a lot of that, up there for educate our audience of that. There's not only that music that you hear in the radio, the very light pop music, which is, I'm okay with that, but there's a lot more when we talk about music.
Yeah, of course there is.
I listen to a lot of internet radio, and I've never listened to koolbreeze. I got to tell you, honest to goodness, from this point forward, I'm going home. I'm going to find koolbreeze on my internet radio. That's my number one favorite station.
Thank you. And
Because
tell
your
your
musical
friends.
selections while we were sitting here are absolutely off the charts.
Thank you. Thank you so much.